Hey everybody, Justin here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the C&L Proving Ground Series dual catback exhaust, available for your 2004 to 2008 5.4 liter powered F-150. Now you should be checking out this system for your 5.4 if you're looking for one of the most affordable stainless steel systems on the site to deliver more bark, along with a very unique look thanks to the dual side exit or dual rear exit configuration. Now this system will feature 409 grade stainless steel throughout, including the 3-inch and 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing, chambered muffler design to deliver that extra bark, all exiting out of the twin 304 grade stainless tips, all for right around that $500 price point. Let's move right into the sound clips you guys heard at the start of this video, and the C&L Proving Ground Series is gonna bring some rumble, but without really shaking the windows in your neighborhood. Definitely a deeper tone overall, one that I really like here. Volume levels are moderate, but again, not over the top. So breaking out my wake the neighbor scale, I'm gonna go solid 3 out of 5 here on my 1 to 5 or 1 to wake the neighbor scale. Now moving inside the truck on the other hand, yes, if you're beating on the truck, you're certainly gonna hear this more than your stock system, but at the same time, once you kind of level out there at highway speeds, that noise fades a bit and it's a very enjoyable ride inside the truck. Now, if you do a lot of towing with your 5.4 here, always like to point out that adding an aftermarket system will bring more of that boom inside the cab. But if you don't tow a bunch, then again, the sound inside the truck is certainly going to be minimal at best. But with the sound covered, let's move into quality and construction. And again, this is gonna be a very affordable, full stainless system. 409 grade stainless here to be exact, guys. Kind of your mid-level material, right smack in the middle between the 304 grade stainless on the higher end of side of things. And then of course you got that aluminized steel on the more budget-friendly side of things. 409 grade stainless, if you don't know, still a very solid material. It's gonna offer great corrosion resistance, even if you're a truck owner in those more snowy or salty areas. You should not worry about corrosion on this thing like you would maybe going with an aluminized steel system. But aside from the materials, again, you are going to find a combination of 3-inch and 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. That 3-inch tubing will lead into the chambered muffler design here before it steps down into that 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. And then everything is going to exit out of these rather large 304 grade stainless tips here, 3.5 inches in diameter, and they are a good length. So they really do make a visual impact beside or behind the truck as well. Now, one thing I do want to point out here with this system, certainly my favorite aspect aside from that affordable stainless build, is the fact that the C&L Proving Ground Series is delivering pipes for both a dual rear exit or a dual side exit. So these are your dual side exit options right here, or if you want to go dual rear exit, you throw these on the back instead. Not a lot of other companies are offering this kind of flexibility with their exhaust, especially at this price point. And the best part is, if you did want to change up the look, really easy to do so. Just 1 clamp per side, change out the pipes, and you're good to go. Speaking of clamps, the C&L option finally does include all of the hangers in your factory location, and they do include all of the clamps needed to get the system installed. All right, let's move into price point here, guys. And again, very, very attractive when it comes to pricing. You're looking at right around $500 for a complete catback that gives you some flexibility with the appearance and kicks in that full stainless steel build. In fact, this system is really hard to beat when it comes to bang for your buck. But as always, if you still want to kind of browse the rest of our selection, never a bad idea. In fact, I encourage you to do so. Be sure to check out the rest of our offerings here at AmericanTrucks.com. All right, guys, last but not least, let's talk about the install. Site's gonna call this a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. Now, for the most part, you're looking at a simple bolt-on job, but there might be the slightest amount of trimming needed for the new C&L system on that front pipe, depending on your wheelbase. Now, the included instructions lay that out all very clearly for you, but to make things even more clear, we're gonna throw it out to the shop right now for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, an exhaust hanger remover tool, a flathead screwdriver, 13mm ratcheting wrench, an extension, 10mm swivel socket, and 16 and 17mm sockets. What's up, guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our F-150. First, we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory exhaust, and then we'll meet you right back here for the install.
To kick off the install, you're going to want to grab an impact gun or a ratchet and a 15mm deep socket. We're going to loosen up one clamp, then use a hanger removal tool to pop out a couple of different hangers along our exhaust and drop the entire thing in one piece. Now, if you're not working on a lift like I am today, it might be easier to take it off in sections. It might actually be a little bit easier to cut some of the pieces off, but obviously that is not required whatsoever. It just depends on your personal preference. Now we're going to drop the whole thing in one piece, so grab your impact gun in 15 and we'll get to work. All right, step number one, with our 15mm socket, we're going to loosen up these two nuts on this band clamp here, and that's really the only clamp we have to tackle. After this, we'll tackle all of the hangers and their isolators. So for now, let's loosen these up. All right, now that our clamp is loose, let's grab our hanger removal tool. All right, starting back here with the hanger just behind our factory muffler. Now the hanger removal tool is definitely not required, but it is completely recommended. It makes life a whole lot easier. Otherwise, a pry bar maybe will do the trick, but it will be a little bit more difficult. All right, now that we have this popped out of the isolators, we can remove our whole exhaust system.
Now before we get started installing our new exhaust, we're gonna add this hanger to the frame. We're on the driver's side here, just right above our wheel. We've got a bolt with a flat washer that we're gonna have to get through this smaller circle hole. We do have a hole here that we can use. It might be a little bit easier if you have a flexible magnet. You can go through this bigger hole up top. But we're gonna slide this in and try to maneuver that into place. And once you get that through, throw your hanger on, and then a flat washer and lock washer, and then the nut. Now it's going to be pointed out towards the wheel, just like that. And just snug it up by hand as much as you can. And then grab a 13mm ratcheting wrench and tighten that down. Now before we start installing our front pipe up here, we are going to have to relocate this hanger if you have anything but the regular cab with the 6.5-foot bed. We're going to have to take that from here to these factory mounting holes on this cross member. So to take a 10mm socket and remove that bolt, and then you can lift that up, slide your hanger out, and then grab a flathead screwdriver to get under this U-clip and work that out. Once you get to this point, I like to get in back here so that you make sure it doesn't fall inside of the frame. And then we're just gonna come over here and just do that in reverse order. Slide that into place, and then grab your hanger, put the top into that square hole, and then line this up with that U-clip and thread your bolt in. And then you can go back with that same 10mm socket and tighten it down. So now we're going to take our front pipe and a 2.5-inch clamp, and then we're going to slide that on. Now you want this bend going towards the drive shaft in the center of the truck. And then you can take your hanger clamp and slide that over the pipe and up into that rubber isolator that we moved. And then once you have that all lined up in place, go back to your flange here and take a 15mm socket to tighten down your clamp. And then switch to a 17mm socket for the hanger clamp. Now next, if you need to install your extension pipe, you're going to slide that on with a 3-inch clamp after you've made the cut that you need, or if you don't need a cut, slide that on. Now we don't need to use the extension pipe with our cab and bed configuration, so we're going to move on to our muffler. So grab a 3-inch clamp and slide it over the muffler inlet, and then slide that onto that pipe, get it nice and straight, and then grab your 16mm socket and tighten that down. So now we're going to start installing our over axle pipes. I'm going to start with the driver's side. So grab a 2.5-inch clamp and slide it onto that muffler outlet, and then raise your pipe over the axle. Get your rod started in your isolator, and then raise your muffler up and slide it into that outlet. And then get your clamp into place and take a 16mm socket and tighten that down. And now we'll do that same thing for the passenger side. Our hanger is just going to be a little bit farther back on this one. So raise it up over the axle, get it started in the hanger. Now get your clamp in place and take a 16mm socket to tighten it down. Next, we're going to install our driver's side tailpipe. So take another 2.5-inch clamp, slide it onto that pipe, and then we're going to slide this pipe into our over axle pipe, raise it up to the hanger that we installed earlier, and grab our isolator and slide that on. Now it's sitting pretty close to the leaf spring now, but once this is down on its own weight, that's going to go up and you'll have the clearance you need. And now you can go back to your clamp and take a 16mm socket to tighten it down. Now before we install our tip, you've got a choice to make on how you want your exhaust to sit. We've got this pipe that's going to be for a straight out the back exit. That's going to line up like that. Or we have this bend if you want to go out the side. Send it out like that. If you really want to be creative, you can put them together and have a pretty sweet shot up. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using the straight out the back pipe. So we're going to grab a clamp and slide that on. So now grab your clamp and slide that onto the pipe of your choice. Slide that on. And I'm just going to line it up where I think it's going to sit, and I'm going to slide my tip on, and I'm going to tighten down my tip and then make my adjustments to where I want my tip to sit before I tighten down that clamp. Now go ahead and slide your tip on, get the adjustment how you'd like it, and then take that 16mm socket to tighten down your tip. And then just get this rotated how you'd like it, and then come back to your clamp and tighten that one down. And then do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the C&O Proving Ground Series dual exhaust system with polished tips for side or rear exit for your 2004 to 2008 5.4 liter F-150. Thank you for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.